This is a channeled message about your galactic history. Save this video so you can come back to it later because it's also an activation, and remember to give a follow to join the community. When I went into your energy field, I came out to a field full of daisies, and I heard you say, I want to remember. And when I walked over to you, I looked down on the ground and picked up one of the daisies that had fallen and placed it in your hand. And I said, what does this mean? And you said they represent hope. I asked, why do you think that they appeared, this big field of them? You said, it is time for me to dive deeper. Are you ready? And grabbed your hands like this. And then what was like a trap door fell out from underneath us, and they were just falling and falling and falling like Alice in Wonderland. It represents us going deeper into your records or your psyche. Then we came out to this really big purple archway that had a lot of hieroglyphs on it. Not necessarily like from Egypt, these are from a different planetary system. And I looked up at it, I said, where are we going? And there was a lot of other people and beings there that were walking through, and it is a transporter, like a Stargate. You and I walked up to it, and I said, well, are you ready to go? And I started walking, and you grabbed my arm. I said, are you nervous? And you said, a little bit. And I asked why. And you said, I haven't been home in a really long time. I asked, well, did something happen while you were there? And you said, I'm not sure. I said, well, I'm here with you, and we will traverse it together. When I am referencing you going home, this is one timeline in your Akashic records. Yourself is wanting you to go on this journey because it's going to help you create the most forward movement into this next chapter of your life. And there's something that needs to unlock within. And you and I went through the Stargate. We came out to this planet, and we were kind of looking around. There was dust everywhere. So I was like, oh, this is a galactic planet. But then after we waited a minute, this is when all of the kind of Earth formations started coming up out of the ground. And when I say Earth, this is not on our Earth, but it is what is known as a Terra planet. And those include Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And they all have compact, rocky surfaces. This, however, is not one of those planets. This is from somewhere else out there in the cosmos. Looking around, and there was this really weird animal noise. It was like, ah! And you said, what was that? I said, I think it's just a bird. And as you were looking around, you're like, I don't think that there's birds here because we weren't on Earth. And then I turned, and sure enough, there was this like bat. What are those dinosaurs called to fly? Oh my gosh, pterodactyls. Okay, it was kind of like a combination of those. It was like this big, and it was like up in this like tree formation. I was like, oh. You started walking, and I asked, where are you going? You said, I don't know. I just feel this internal calling. I said, all right, well, you lead and I'll follow you. So we're walking, and we come out to this really big stream out of nowhere, and we're looking at the water. If you have ever seen Sword in the Stone, Merlin and Arthur turn into a fish. So you dematerialize all of a sudden. I'm like, where are you at? And I saw you as a fish diving into the creek or the stream, and you turned into a sturgeon, which is this really big, sleek fish. I turned into a hawk, if you will, a bird, and was flying over the stream so I could see you and where you were going. And so we were traveling together. Then you got to a stopping point, jumped out of the water, turned back into a human, and started taking off running. And I'm flying behind you. All of a sudden you drop to your knees and you're holding your arms out, and you said, I found my people. This is when these beings started coming forward, and they embraced you, and I turned back into a human, and then they embraced me as well and told us to come into their, what I would call is a village. It wasn't necessarily that. They were a little bit more advanced and high tech. They're like collective of beings. And so we're walking in there, and they said that we are the land, or we are the people of the land of Mehi. They had a bowl that had what seemed to be paint to me, but I think that it was made out of natural items to make said paint. And they put a point on you here, and then one here and one here. And I asked what those were, and they said that they were going to help you remember your culture. When I was looking around at everybody, they were all mixtures of these different animals, but also beings. A lot of that I had never seen before. And they told me that they were masters of transfiguration and that it was time for you to remember your gifts. Transfiguration is a big umbrella. I was utilizing transfiguration when I turned into the hawk to follow you, and then you when you turned into the sturgeon. But you can also astral project into plants, trees, and animals, whether that is in the ethers or on the 3D plane. In shamanism, a lot of times they will embody the energetics and characteristics of certain animals to hold that energy within themselves and then project that out into the world. With the astral projection, you can also look through the eyes of animals to go discover different locations, different planetary systems. A lot of useful capabilities. They are the masters at it. They have been doing it for a very long time. They said that you hold that gift within you as well, and that is why they were welcoming you home today. But one of your timelines is from the land of Mehi and the people there. Now, on this planet, they are just one type of persons and being. What I was reading energetically, lots of different communities and tribes. However, this one specifically is where part of your soul originates from. What I would suggest is going in meditation and asking to speak to this council of beings to help you remember this timeline in your records. Maybe even going on Pinterest and looking up animal, humanoid type of beings, and that will help you remember your transfiguration abilities that you can utilize during this incarnation. I would love to hear in the comments if this resonated with you, if you felt that home space within your soul, if the daisies or the trapdoor or turning into a sturgeon was symbolic for you, or what your biggest takeaway is. If you would like to work together further to dive deeper into your soul's history, I do offer Akashic record readings. You can find those in my bio or in the comments, and I'm wishing you a very magical day.